Welcome to the show where we talk all things weightlifting. I'm your host, Seb aka the voice of the people, and this is the Weightlifting House podcast. Hello and welcome back to this week's episode of the Weightlifting House podcast with your host, Seb the voice of the people, joined by, and we asked last week for people to send in submissions. We got one.
Did we?
The People's Enigma.
Ooh.
Nick Grew. You know what? I wonder if we should actually just explain who you are very quickly. We sort of have done before, haven't we? But do a brief history of Nick Grew.
Well, you've sprung this on me, haven't you?
Yeah. And before we do that, just so everyone knows, we are going to hit the topic today. We're going to discuss, we've each gone away and spent a bit of time working out who are the 5 weightlifters that we think are worth watching.
Ones to watch.
Yeah, ones to watch.
Slightly different.
You've got to keep an eye on them. Nick's are a little bit more niche.
Yeah.
People you might not even know of. Or
depends
maybe
how.
It depends how deep you are in the weightlifting iceberg. Mine are maybe a little bit more like people who I think could win, who aren't quite winning yet. And then we'll probably then at the end do who are the absolute top dogs who we think are going to remain top dogs. But yeah, okay, 60 seconds, Nick Grew. I met him at a CrossFit gym.
Correct.
He came in, wanted to learn weightlifting. I was a weightlifting coach. I was impressed by his lockout. He then went to university, messaged me, Seb, can you coach me? Write me programming. Yeah. I did that. We did that for what, a year and a half?
I think. Yeah, because it was whilst I was on my placement, so yeah.
Yeah, a year coaching. Then after Nick got his degree, which he walked away with a nice first, he messaged me and kept saying, can I come and work for you at Weightlifting House? I kept saying no. And then eventually he said, please. And I said, yes. And then has done a whole host of jobs, but is now head of product, which means that Nick spends his days with fabrics in his hand, with sample materials and belts and knee sleeves and different cuts and different hues and colors, trying to work out how we can make iterations to products, which we then give out to athletes who test them, and then also how we get the clothing looking sick.
Yep. Lovely jubbly.
With a side quest, I would say, in extremely impressive weightlifting knowledge.
From the 5 years of going to competitions.
Going to competitions with me.
Watching the lifters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Nick lives in the training hall.
Yeah.
So it tends to be that we come away for a competition and I have a better feel for what happened in the competition.
Yep.
And Nick has a better feel for how athletes are looking in training.
And like B lifters that you might, B group lifters you might not have seen.
Yeah,
did
absolutely.
Well.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the 5 weightlifters to watch.
Yep.
And I've sort of spread this as like 5 weightlifters to watch this quad.
Mm-hmm.
Rather, I'm not saying like this World Championships. I think some of my people need some time.
Yeah.
But I just think they could be cooking come LA 2028. Do you want to give me your first?
Yeah, sounds good. So
I wonder if we have any crossovers.
I don't think we will.
I think we will have one crossover.
Okay.
On the women's side.
Okay. So my first pick is Vanessa Segura.
Okay, yeah.
Originally from Colombia.
Yeah.
And has recently moved to compete for Bahrain.
Yeah.
Following in the footsteps of Lesman Paredes.
Yeah.
Of last quad. So, first spotted Vanessa at the Junior World Champs in Lyon. So not this year, last year.
Yeah.
And she went, and this was when she was 17, I think, 16, 17.
Weighing what, sorry?
64.
Yeah.
101 and 130 kilos.
I mean, that's just unreal talent, isn't it?
Yeah.
17-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She then, and I think this is why I've picked her. She then went to Worlds in Bahrain and competed very well.
Yeah, she did.
At her first senior, which you don't see very often.
No.
Juniors tend to take a few competitions to actually level up, don't they?
Yeah, and sometimes they get put into B groups and all these sorts of things just to kind of have a bit of fun. But she pushed it.
So last year's World, she came 4th.
Right.
And that was behind 2 North Korean lifters and a Chinese lifter.
Yeah.
At 17, 18?
Yeah.
18, I think she was at that point, yeah.
That was unbelievable.
Incredible.
Yeah, that's huge. And so are you just saying she's one to watch? She could become sort of as big as some, I know she's competed for Bahrain, but some of the other sort of South American Yeni Alvarez's, Nacy Dahomev's.
Actually, going to hit Yeni levels and maybe go beyond that, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's a strange one for Colombia.
Let me just turn your thing very quickly, by the way. There you go.
I don't know how much say Colombia have in letting her go, but it's an interesting choice. I think
it is them who did. Team Colombia, I think, can decide to not let her go to Bahrain.
Yeah.
Like they could have not let Lesman go.
Lesman go, yeah.
But I think Bahrain does a deal with the federation.
Yeah. So I guess Colombia have got a very good women's team. And the new Olympic category we think is going to be 63. Pretty confident with that, aren't we?
Yeah, yeah.
So I guess you can see Yeni going up to 63. And they're thinking, is it a waste of having both of these lifters who could potentially go to LA?
Although you would then think that Segura would outlift Yeni by then.
I think so, yeah. But
yeah, that's a great shout.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we move on?
Let's move on.
All right, you went women's, so I'll go men's.
Cool.
There's a chance you've said him, but we'll see. I've gone for North Korea's Pak Pyol.
Nice.
Did you?
No, I didn't. No.
Oh, really? Okay.
No. That's a nice pick.
Yeah, I think that's an elite pick, actually. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So for those who don't know, he rocked up to the World Championships this year. That was his first ever international competition. And he didn't win, which is worth mentioning. He didn't win. He came second behind his teammate who owned the world record and then re-broke the world record, Ri Wonju, in the clean and jerk. He made 190. But I remember when we saw Pak Pyol in training the first day, we were all a bit like, who the flip is this guy? Pardon my French. Who is this guy? He was very jacked. He had a slightly different build, I would say, compared to Ri Wonju, who's sort of all limbs.
Yeah.
Pak Pyol seemed like quite a long torso and very, very muscular. And I assumed he was a 73 because he looked big.
Yeah.
He looked really big and strong.
We spent a while trying to
work out who he was.
Start list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually posted a video and we just had to take a guess as to who. Was it him or was it Ri Ryong Hyun, who was a 73? And we just had to guess on the names. And we got it right. No, we got it right.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we got it wrong.
And then just changed it.
Yep.
Yeah. But the thing is, nobody knows because neither of them had ever competed. So we were just a source of information for it. Okay, so the reason I've picked him, in the snatch, he went 142, 147, 150. Now, 150 snatch at 67 is very, very strong. 3 for 3, took the gold medal in the snatch. And he had a 4-kilo lead over his teammate. And then in the clean and jerk, he opened up at 182, which basically gave him like, I'm in there. I've definitely got at least a silver. Jumped to 190, missed it for a world record. Jumped to 191 for a new world record. Cleaned it. He's a squat jerker and a very good squat. He's not one of those ones where it's like he might miss that. It just, everything on the way up to max looked good. And he missed it. But it's there. And the way he does it compared to other athletes, it's like there is so much. You know, when you watch someone, kind of like Colby almost, someone who is just like explodes. They're so powerful. They pull the bar off the floor fast.
So
when they make contact,
yeah.
Like Max used to describe it as there being a lot of energy in the lift. It's just like, it's so dynamic. Mm-hmm. So I think Pak Pyol, he'll drop down to 65.
Yeah, I was going to ask,
Olympic
do you think
category.
that 65 is a great category for him?
Yeah, I think it's great. Because he's not even, he is lean, but he's not necessarily even as lean as Ri Wonju.
Some of the other North Koreans, yeah.
Yeah, so I think 65. And then you just got to think, if you're someone like Hampton and you're going up against a 150, 190, 67, he's going to be doing 45, 85 at 65. And those are big numbers.
Very big numbers.
Yeah. So Pak Pyol, that's my number one.
Nice. Love that.
All right, let's whip it back to you then.
So
the barbell's in your court.
Second choice is, I've tried to spread my choices around the in different continents. I haven't done a great job of that actually, but this pick is from Nigeria, and it's Sarah Matthew.
Yeah, I said we'd have one similar.
Have we picked?
Yeah, I picked her as well.
Nice.
I thought you might almost be a bit annoyed that I picked her because
I'm impressed that you did.
But I feel like I know that we're not like, you almost scouted her before me.
Yeah.
You clocked her. I think you gave her some Weightlifting House stuff. And I only know really of her because of you.
Yeah.
But I had to put her in.
So 76 kilo lifter.
Yeah.
So 77, new Olympic category. Lovely
Yeah.
stuff. 18 years old. So we first saw her, the first time I saw her was in Bahrain Training Hall.
Yeah.
And I think she hang snatched 100 kilos.
Yeah.
And she's extremely powerful. And it was like, wow, she is extremely strong.
Yeah.
She then, I think she competed in the B group.
Mm-hmm.
She hit 110, 135, and that 110 ended up being a bronze.
And she was really upset.
Extremely upset.
Yeah.
And that's like...
Did she have a Weightlifting House singlet on?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
So the
Yeah.
question mark's there. And I remember I spoke to her afterwards and I asked her why she was so upset. You've just won a bronze at your first senior international. The plan was to hit 120 kilos in the snatch.
I could see it.
And she's since posted a 118 kilo video on Instagram, which was pre-Worlds. So
And that would have been a gold, by the way,
Yeah.
in snatch if she'd made 120.
Exactly. So she is definitely one to watch
Yeah.
in terms of getting into the A groups and then potentially, causing some upsets.
I mean, is she going to beat Olivia Songkok-Kang, Lao Gui Fang? Not sure. But she's one of the only ones where you look at her and you think, genetically, you're on the same level, for sure.
Definitely.
It's just she's going to have to tidy things up a
yeah,
lot.
Yeah.
She's
It's a
very
bit.
all
I mean,
over the
it's
place.
classic sort of Nigerian, where there's so much strength, but the technique isn't. Quite
Hasn't been honed
refined.
quite as much. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great shout. All right, well, I can't take her now then,
No.
can I? I will go to... I'm going to go, in that case, to China's
Cool.
45 kilo
Yeah.
Zhao Jin Hong.
These are the sort of picks I was expecting from you.
Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah. We had a little panic before we started that we'd ended up actually just picking the same people. But okay, so Zhao Jin Hong, for those who don't know, and I was hesitant to put her in because, she's a 45 and the first Olympic category is 53.
Yeah.
So I'm not necessarily making predictions that she's going to be an Olympian,
Yeah.
but I think she's going to mop up medals
World
in the
champs.
48 class and that sort of thing, set world records. So Zhao Jin Hong, she is a 45 kilo weightlifter. Before she sort of started competing, all of the world records were held by Won Hyun Sim from North Korea. She'd done like 87, 109, and she was probably 14 kilos ahead of anyone in the snatch and 20 kilos ahead of anyone in the clean and jerk, really. You'd have like Kansu Baektas would hit like a 165 total, and then she'd walk away with like 190.
Yeah.
So it was just ridiculous difference. And then Zhao Jinhong turned up at this World Championships. She equaled the snatch world record on a second attempt, which is just like a
Power play.
it's a power play. That's what Karlos
It's a stepping
did.
stone for me.
Do you remember?
Yeah,
when
in
Karlos did the 217 on his second attempt
Where was that again?
in Colombia, and then jumped to 220.
Yeah.
He just like equaled the world record because he had no interest in beating it by one because it was beneath him, and that's what she did. Then she actually then went up just 1 kilo and missed, but I'll get back to that. Then in the clean and jerk, 105, 110 world record, jumped another 3 kilos, set another world record, extended the world record total by 4 kilos, the clean and jerk record by 4, and equaled the snatch world record. And then she came back at the Asian Championships, and she didn't surpass her clean and jerk, but she snatched a new world record at 90. So now she's got 91.13
90 kilo snatch.
at 45, double bodyweight snatch, which is big. Yeah, really bloody good. And I haven't actually worked out the Sinclairs. I made a note that I should have done this, but 91.13, I reckon at 45, isn't that far behind. 98, 125 at 49.
Yeah.
It's sort of and she's had no competition, and she's not really been pushed, and she's only done it a couple times and it look easy. She's 2001, so 24.
Okay.
She just turned 24 last month. So yeah, I think if she goes up to 48, because she's actually very skinny as well, puts on a little bit of weight, she would be very good at 48. And then obviously Ri Song Gum from North Korea is going to go up to 53. So she's just going to have a vacant category, I think. And if China decides to keep their new 49, who did very well at Worlds, Zhang Linjiang, if they decide to keep her down at 48 because they bring back Hu Jihui or Zhang Huihua, I don't think she'll be able to beat Zhao Jinhong.
There you go.
There you go. That's my second.
Nice.
Who have I said? Pak Pyol and Zhao Jinhong.
Yeah, and then we both have had Sarah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And who was your first again?
Vanessa Segura.
Vanessa, yeah. Vanessa Segura.
All right, I'm going to go to the men's side now. Matus Pasana from Brazil.
Yeah.
So
Very good.
102,
Yeah.
19, 20 years old. Had his sort of breakthrough performance, I describe it as, very recently at the Junior World Champs in Peru. He went 175, 220. And that 220 was a junior world record in the clean and jerk.
All right, let's think about that. 175, 220 at 102.
Would have placed him 5th in Paris.
So I'm just thinking about other amazing
Future,
recent 102s. The most recent would be Garrick.
Mm-hmm.
Garrick could have beaten him in the snatch, but that 220
At 102.
at that age is very impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's solid.
5th place in Paris. That would have put
Yeah.
him at 19 years old.
Yeah.
I think
that's very good.
I think Brazil are definitely a team to watch in
yeah.
this next squad.
Oh yeah. Did you pick another Brazilian by any chance?
No.
No. Okay, me neither. But yeah, we definitely could have
Yeah.
done. In the 81s.
Yeah.
I guess soon to be 77. Perfect for her. Laura Morrow we're talking
Yeah.
about, by the way.
I think the big test for him is going to be, like similarly we said with Vanessa, where she stepped up and competed really well at her first senior.
Yeah.
His big test is going to be Norway when he actually faces up against the likes of, I guess it depends what weight category he's going to go.
Can he cut? He's quite a tall fella, isn't he?
Yeah, he's pretty lit.
He's probably got to go 110.
I think he'll go 110.
And
So
he's
it's going to be
gonna-
interesting
yeah.
to see when he then faces up with the likes of Akbar.
Mm-hmm.
Does he, shit the bed, or
Yeah,
does
yeah.
he turn up and put in a performance?
He's got Akbar, he's got Liu Hanhua.
Yeah, I mean, as we said on the previous,
I think Uncle Russ is back and
Yeah.
offered me a bowl of plov.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Yeah,
What an
very
offer.
happy with that. Yeah.
can't turn that down, can you?
No, we'll take a trip out to him at some point. Yeah, so there's some very strong 110s to keep an eye on. I mean,
Yeah,
even Dadash.
yeah,
He
we've
is
said that
so intimidating to compete
in the back
against.
room,
In the
walking
back
up
room.
and down, growling.
Slapping his face.
Yeah.
He's massive as well. He's taller than everyone. His
Yeah.
hands are enormous. And he's just, he's fierce, isn't he?
Yeah, he'll chase you around the training home for a t-shirt. That lad.
Well, I was about to say, he'll come knocking on your hotel door.
Yeah,
If he can find out where you're staying, he'll be knocking. Come morning and night, he's knocking, trying to get. What does he want from us? He wants singlets. He wants
He wants a
shorts.
lot,
He wants everything. What have we ever given him?
singlet.
Oh, we have given him a
leggings.
singlet and
Yeah.
leggings.
Yeah,
Oh, he wore the leggings at Worlds,
Yeah.
didn't he? Yeah, I remember that.
but he didn't turn up to. What's the most recent?
No, he wasn't at Europeans.
Europeans. So
No. He didn't.
if you don't turn up,
Did he have an injury?
yeah, he
Injured his elbow or his ankle, wasn't it? Or his knee?
knee. I think.
Knee, yeah.
I think he sprained his knee. That's what he said.
Yeah. So yeah, okay, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Going male or female next?
I'll go male.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with, maybe this one's a little bit obvious, but I still think he's one to keep an eye on. Colby Ferguson.
No, yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah. Team USA.
Because at this point, he's not. He's only competed in a B group at Worlds.
Yeah, exactly. He's got Pan Am's next week. No,
Yeah.
not next week.
2 weeks?
Yeah, soon.
Yeah.
I was talking to him yesterday, actually. He sent me, out of the blue, a video. Let me show you. Because those who know much about him know that he's a big fan of basketball as well, and he plays a lot. He sent me this. He said, look at this with a crying laughter face.
Jesus.
Yeah. Between the legs.
What do they call that in the...
It's a two-footed between the legs dunk.
Okay.
Very nice. And then he said he's weighing 114 right now.
Okay.
I was actually talking to him because after that, I then said about, has he seen the new American standards? Because it
Yeah.
looks like they're out.
Yeah.
We then messaged USAW, and it turns out that
They're not quite right.
they're
is it?
not right.
Yeah.
And USAW now has a document that basically says they have these American records, these standards that athletes have to surpass by kilo, And if by the end of each year they're not beaten, they come down by 5 kilos every year.
Right. I mean, that's going to be frustrating if you...
Well, I don't know if it will then... Will it then be like, okay, 117 hasn't been surpassed, therefore it's 112, but last year someone did 114,
That's
so
weird
they have
if they
it.
do that.
It is
You
weird.
get a record a year later.
But then if they don't do that, then it's like, okay, someone gets a record for 112, but someone hit 114 last year.
I'm not sure about that one.
I'm not sure about that. But yeah, he gave me some numbers that he wants to hit at Pan Ams, which I don't think I can.
So will he go 110 at Pan Am's?
110,
right?
yeah. I don't think there's any reason why I can't say them because it's pretty clear that these are sort of the numbers that he would go for because we've seen him attempt them before. I mean, I've seen him attempt more in training and I've seen him hit more in training. But he says he wants to hit 180 snatch, 227 clean and jerk.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I've seen him do 80, I've seen him do 230.
Yeah, I mean, they've posted the 230 on Instagram USA Weightlifting, didn't they? Was it 230 from the
What was that?
USA training camp?
Yeah, because what did he do when I filmed him?
I can't remember.
When he came to the UK? I was looking at that video the other day. I thought that might have been, in my head that was 230, but I guess it wasn't. That's more like probably 227.
Did he make 230 after you'd left or something?
Yeah, but I've got the video of it. He took 2 attempts at it, and I just thought, okay, I can't wait around. I've got to go back. I had a important appointment I had to make, basically. I'm not going to find it. I've got it on my phone somewhere that would reveal what lift it was. That's a shame. But yeah, 227 or 230. But yeah, I reckon he's one to watch. He's got an incredible amount of power. Mm-hmm. He's incredibly strong. He's so focused. Like, I remember he has 2 phones, and I think on one of the screens it's the world records.
Right.
And then on the other screen it's a screenshot of on the IWF performances for 2024 Worlds. So it's Ruslan Nuruddinov number 1, and it has Dadash, and it has and it's him at like 5th or something.
Nice.
So every time he just turns on his phone, he just sees these are the guys, these are the numbers.
Yeah. When's the little doc coming out of?
They're being edited now.
Okay.
I think though that the right thing to do is to save them to build up Worlds.
Okay.
We'll put them on Weightlifting House TV. Yeah. I think the first episode with Olivia Reeves goes up. It definitely goes up in June on Weightlifting House TV. But there's going to be 6 episodes between the 2 of them, 3 each. And I wonder if the best thing to do is wait until like September. And then people do, because Worlds is the start of October. People will just get really hyped up for it. So that's what I'm thinking.
What do you think? So he's given the numbers what he hopes for Pan Am's.
Yeah.
What do you think we can expect from him when it rolls around to Norway?
I think it massively depends on
the jury.
The jury, to some degree. That Asian Champs jury.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just Kolbi. It's a lot of people are going to be destroyed by that.
Is Asian Champs always usually stricter, or was that a
it has
one-off?
No, I've seen it stricter, but that was one-off. That was just crazy. I think he said that his big focus is consistency in the snatch, which is the right thing. Mm-hmm. Like, he can't go 1 for 3 again in the snatch. Yeah. If he makes his lifts, his third attempts are all going to be around the 181, maybe as high as 230 range. Mm-hmm. And probably if he does 180, 230 at Worlds, he places 4th.
Yeah, you got a few.
But he would get a medal in the clean and jerk.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I think it depends. Well, actually, I'm assuming that Ruslan's
really depends who shows up and what category they go to.
Akbar, Wanhua, they'll both. Antrov's not doing 410. That's snatch.
Beat him in the clean and jerk though.
Yeah, but 230 is a big clean and jerk for Antrov, isn't it?
True.
He's not snatching 180.
No.
I'll put Kolbi over Antropov for sure. So, well, not for sure. He'd have to make his lifts.
Yeah. Anyway,
I think he can do it. But I think the top 2, realistically, we always talk about is Akbar and Liu Hanhua. And then after that, it just depends. Like, does Ruslan turn up and clean and jerk 250? And, like, is he, well, not 250, but is he like world record shape again?
I mean, Garrick, mid 180 snatch, maybe more. And
mid
then
220s again.
Mid 220s. That's a nice number there.
410 has to become a minimum if you want a medal in that new 110 class.
That 110 class is...
It's gotten good, isn't it?
So good now.
It's gotten really good. Yeah.
Simone,
yeah. I mean, what could Simone do? 85-35? 420? I mean, maybe. He holds a world record in the 109s.
Yeah.
435. 435. Imagine if he did that now. People would just be like...
lose their minds.
Blown away by him. All right, is this your third now?
My fourth now.
Fourth, yeah, your fourth, yeah.
Okay, so...
Weightlifting House training apparel doesn't just look great, it feels amazing too. With a 4.8-star rating across thousands of orders, our clothing is loved by lifters around the world. Every piece is designed from scratch using premium technical fabrics, lifter-friendly seams, and obsessive attention to detail, which is probably why we've collaborated with Olympic champions like Lash Talakadze and Karlos Nasar. Every item has a story. Experience the quality yourself at weightliftinghouse.com. Click the link in our bio or visit the site to get your next piece of weightlifting apparel.
Everyone knows Alexi Cherkin. Do they know his boy?
No, you've not picked him.
I have.
Okay.
So, Dennis...
Well, I don't know if everybody... Uvarov is the name. Uvarov. I don't think... When you said everybody knows Alexi Cherkin, I don't think they do.
Okay. Most people know Alexi Cherkin.
If you listen to this podcast, there's a good
Alexi
chance
Cherkin.
you know Alexi Cherkin.
So
81 kilo counter.
Bahrain Worlds, we're watching Alexi snatch, was it 160 double? No, he was clean jerking.
No, and he doubled 160 in the snatch.
And
wearing the unbelievable leggings.
What we naively presumed was his mate who was just loading for him.
Yeah. He then started lifting with him.
Yeah, and we thought, okay, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he's clean and jerk 200.
Yeah.
Very comfortably.
Wearing baggy, like, basketball-style shorts. No knee sleeves,
and just a T-shirt.
Yeah. And he looked like he just put on some shoes, just, like, lacing up, just to, like, fit in with the crowd. He's thick.
Yeah. That was a big wow. I think he moves very nicely. He's extremely strong.
For a big, thick lad.
I think if you think imrpove and shrink him down to a 90-kilo lifter, it's what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Quite similar.
Yeah, I'd give you that.
So in the training hall in Bahrain, he did hit 170. There's a video of him on Instagram, and then I saw him hit 200 once.
170 snatch.
Yeah, and then there's a video of him on Instagram hitting the 200 again.
Right.
He came fifth in total from the B group at 89, and he hit 165, 205, and he sort of flicks between the 89 and 69 kilo category. So the 94 category is quite nice for him. And I think it's going to be good to see him and Nagisa. He could push Nagisa.
You think Uvarov will go 96?
I think so. He 94.
But he 94. But when he did that the other day, wasn't he basically...
He's like a 90 kilo lifter now.
Oh, had he gone all the way up? I thought he was like 0.1 over.
No, he sort of flicks between 89 and 96. So I think, does he go 88 and sort of sit in that non-Olympic slot for this quad?
I think so.
Because he is only 20 years old.
That's what I would do.
Or does he go 94 and look to train with Nagisa, push Nagisa up?
I think he goes 88 because Kazakhstan's got a world champs coming.
Yes,
and they
want to clear
in
up as many
2028
medals as possible.
I think they're going to walk away with a lot of medals.
Yeah.
And I think putting someone like him in at 88, it could be a medal.
Yeah.
Well, I think he might have a Lee Dayan-esque. No, I think Lee Dayan will go 94, you know.
This is my pick as like a new fan favourite, I think. Just the way he
really
lifts.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his vibe.
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. And there's when I was thinking of doing a bit of research for this episode, and I saw him, I didn't even take a second to think that I would put him in, but I did clock him.
Yeah.
As like, that's somebody who's on his way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good shout. And that leads me into my fourth pick.
Okay.
Alexi Cherkin.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Let's just rewind an episode or two.
2 episodes ago, I think. What did I say?
think your direct words, Alexi Cherkin cannot hang with the 79s.
I might have said that.
Yeah. So
do you know
you're
what?
retracting that.
No, because I'm not saying that he's going to win.
Okay.
I'm not saying that he can definitely beat Ri Chong Song or even Rahmat.
Okay.
But I'm not saying he can't, because it tends to be that
So he's hanging on with one
countries-
hand right now.
Yeah, countries go up and they go down, and it's not very often that within a average country you get an unreal person. It's more like Kazakhstan rises up and becomes amazing 2014, and then they drop back down,
Mm-hmm.
then they come back up. Colombia gets really good in 22, drops back down. China's big, they go down. Like the whole country moves up and down.
Yeah.
And with a big world championships in 2028 coming, Kazakhstan, and I think we'll do an episode on this, on like teams and how they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kazakhstan is really building right now. Obviously, we've already seen it with Nagisa and Antropov walking away with 2 world champs. I mean, they have 2 world champions right now on the men's side. That's crazy. And I just think, give them a few years. I don't know if Cherkin's ever going to snatch 170. I don't know if he has to even. I don't think anyone in this category might even snatch 170. But you don't remember him from 2016. But I could see Cherkin pulling off a bit of a Rahimov and hitting like definitely 210.
I mean,
maybe he comes in one competition. I'm not even like I'm careful with what I'm saying here. I'm not even saying it will last.
Yeah.
But I could see him hit like 214.
The way he does make like 200,
Yeah.
205 lift. We saw him hit 160 for a double.
160 for a
And
double, and
it
then he hit
looks-
64.
It looks incredible.
And also, don't
it
forget,
does look like he could snatch 170.
yeah, he went 6 for 6.
Yeah.
He went 6 for 6 and took the silver medal behind Ri Chong Song from North Korea. And like Ri Chong Song is like literally just a soldier.
Yeah.
Like he's a soldier. But Cherkin, I reckon he went 6 for 6 there. I hope he didn't come to the Asian Champs. I hope he comes to Worlds. And I think we've said it last time, but that 79 kilo class, Rizky, Rahmat, Cherkin, Ri Chong Song is absolutely outrageous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. And I think he's going to
Chuck Wirifon in there. You've got another 200 kilo plus
chuck Wirifon in there.
clean jerker.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's probably about 5 that we're forgetting right now as well.
Yeah. Did Sun
A session's
Hyun
been
Ho,
incredible.
you know, So Hyun Ho, the South Korean 81, did he get popped recently?
So, I don't think it's Kwon Dai Hee, is it?
Kwon Dae Hee. There's
Yeah.
another one called Sun Hyun Ho. Yeah,
No,
Kwon
it's
Dae
Kwon
Hee
Dae
got
Hee,
popped,
yeah.
didn't he? But Sun Hyun Ho. Okay, cool. So yeah, I think that Cherkin, and even if I say he's just one to watch, I think he's just going to become a name that people know more of.
Yeah.
You know,
He's going to pick up medals, isn't he?
he's going to pick up medals. I could see him getting. I think there's going to be like 4 clean and jerk world records in that session in Norway. I think the world record will be put at like 208, and
Yeah.
he'll do 209. Rahmat will do 210. Ri Chong Song will do 11, and then Rahmat will come back out and hit 12.
There you go.
Notice I didn't mention Rizky.
Yeah.
I love Rizky, but I don't know. I really love Rizky. He's such a nice lad.
Yeah.
And he's unreal. You know, he's a great lifter. But I don't know if he's going to hang.
Okay, so you've switched now.
No, he could. No, because he's so good at... No,
Oh.
No, he just has to be in shape.
Yeah,
if Rizky trains like he did for...
he does turn up every so often in very good shape, doesn't
Yeah, sometimes he's unreal. So I think he can do it. I could see Rizky being a 66, 67, 205. Which would be,
he? Yeah.
on any
his
given day, any of these
snatch
lot
might
will win.
help him out there, mightn't it?
Yeah. And do you know what, Rahmat? We both said this last time. I still think he's the pick of the bunch, but
I wonder if how much.
it's going to be it's a lot harder this time than it was
Yeah.
last time. If you thought Rizky and Shi Zhong was hard, he's not met Ri Chong. Well, he has actually, and he lost.
Yep.
The only time he's really lost was against Ri Chong Song.
I mean,
Qatar.
technically, he's lost to Alexi Cherkin as well.
Yeah, at this Worlds, yeah.
Yeah.
And he lost to Rizky in April, so he's lost to all of them.
Yeah.
Whereas Ri Chong Song hasn't lost to any of them. He's still beating all of them.
Yep.
All right, who's your fifth then?
So this is my pick that I would have just hated. I think you might have picked him. But if you hadn't, I'd have hated it if we hadn't have mentioned it.
In which case, I think I know exactly who you've gone for. You've gone Super.
Because you picked him? Yeah, Super. Ali Omar.
Yeah, Ali Omar Rubihawi,
Yeah.
Team Iraq.
Incredible.
I haven't picked him. I made a note as well.
Okay.
I put him down next to Ali Rezi Yousefi as just
Yeah.
like, if they don't get mentioned, we just need to mention them.
No. So,
Yeah, Rubihawi, go for it.
21 years old.
Yeah,
As a super is very young, isn't it?
yeah.
In Bahrain, he hit 204, which is a
Unreal.
junior world record. And then he hit 247 kilos in the clean jerk,
Yeah,
which
his
is a
clean and jerk's coming now.
10 kilo PR.
Yeah, his clean and jerk is finally beginning to move.
We always knew he could snatch because he's hit over 200 a couple of times.
And what's he weighing? Like maybe 140?
134 in Bahrain.
Oh, wow, you've done your research.
Yeah, you know me.
No, you just need that one.
So since 2022, sorry, when we first saw him at Bahrain Asian Champs, he was a 109.
Yeah, I was
So
going to say,
he's
yeah.
bumped up 25 kilos of body weight.
And we saw in the training hall at that Asian Champs, the coach really wanted him to hit a PR, and
Yeah.
he put like
Put some money down on
$60
the platform.
on the platform for him to hit, and I think he made it, and he got the $60.
I think that was 170, 175 he hit there.
Snatch,
in
yeah.
the training hall.
Yeah. What a competition.
Yeah, what a comp. Yeah, the less we say about that, the
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
No,
No, I mean, the comp was good, just so many athletes dropped out.
athletes turned up, really, did they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in Bahrain, sort of 3 of his lifts were like junior world records. He just kept bumping it up and up.
Yeah.
He's incredibly tall. He can easily pack on some more weight, can't he?
Yeah, he could put on 15, 20 kilos.
Is he?
Over
Would
the
you
next
say
quad.
he's sort of Ali Davoudi height?
Not quite, but taller than everyone else.
Yeah,
Yeah. And Davoudi's like 185.
yeah. He's very quick. I mean, and he's snatching similar amounts to Davoudi right now
Yeah.
with 40 kilos left body weight.
Yeah, I mean, Davoudi hit 206 at Worlds.
Yeah,
So 204, and he's smaller.
and he's 10 kilos behind in the clean and jerk.
253 Davoudi hit.
Oh,
so
closer than that then.
he got 451. I mean, he placed 5th. But
Yeah.
when you think about who he's behind, it was
Yeah.
Lalian, Davoudi, Yousefi, who hit that 262, and
Yeah.
Gore. So it's very stacked. That super heavyweight category, actually, despite losing Lasher, looks all right.
Yeah, I
It's
think
good,
he
actually.
he's got a medal chance in LA, I think. If he can continue
I'd agree with that.
adding on body weight
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
at the pace he has and keep adding some kilos onto his total.
Yeah.
Definitely one to watch.
I've gone silent because I've realised I need mine. See, here's the thing. My 5th was Sarah Matthew.
Okay.
But there are other people I can say who I wrote down as a sort of maybe we should mention them.
Yeah.
So we're actually going to talk about her in the next episode, I think. I think I'd like to talk about Lao Guifang.
Okay.
Because if you had asked me at any point up until the end of the 2023 World Champs, who is the best female weightlifter in Team China, I'd have said Lao Guifang.
Yeah.
Then Song Cook Yang
from Saudi,
turned up.
right? After Saudi.
She just looked so good. She was smashing records constantly. And then Song Cook Yang turned up for the first time at the Asian Games and beat her.
Mm-hmm.
And then they went to Qatar and Song Cook Yang won again. And then at the Asian Champs, Lao Guifang didn't turn up. Song Cook Yang set more world records. And then in Thailand, she lost to Olivia Reeves.
Yeah.
And then she just dropped off for a bit. But the way that she turned up at the Asian Championships a few weeks
what
ago,
What is she clean and jerk again?
Is
it one?
I'm about to tell you, but I think it was 155. I'm just going
Yeah.
to confirm that on our results page. Women's 76, 154. So she did 125, 154. All I'm saying is she's already at the weight for the new category.
Mm-hmm.
She's fixed her injuries because she had that pain.
Yeah.
She's fixed. She also missed her 6th attempt, which was at like 157 or something, and she held it overhead in the split position and then just dropped it. So I think that over the last year, Lao Guifang dropped off the radar. We started looking at Lo Shifang, the 59, who's still unreal. We started talking about Hu Jihui, even Li Yan, China's new super.
Yep.
But I think that Lao Guifang will return because she's got such a great coach, that, the guy,
The
little
shorter
guy.
yeah, he's brilliant, isn't he?
Who also coaches, so we should mention this person as well, Pei Jinyi, 59. I still think her time's coming.
Li Wenwen.
Yeah, and Li Yan. Yeah, he's
Is
the
he
most
Li Yan's
successful.
coach as well?
Yeah,
God,
he's
it's not
unreal.
a bad roster, is it?
No, that guy might have the best team in the world almost. It's crazy. So yeah, Lao Guifang, I've always loved her. I always like watching her compete.
You have.
I always want to give her the nickname the Robot, but I just don't think I don't want to make that popular.
No.
It's not nice enough. But I don't mean it because she's like robotic emotionally. It's just like she's just surgical with it. She just walks straight to the bar, lifts it, walks off. It's just like she knows what she's doing, and her core, like she's just so strong. And I think watching her in training halls over the last few years, it's just made me like her even more.
Yeah.
She's so smooth with her technique. So yeah, okay. Number 5 for me then, Lao Guifang.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
So let's recap. Give your 5 again.
Vanessa Segura.
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 Right? Yeah.
Um,
Like Tom Segura, the comedian. You
Sarah
don't know him.
Matthew.
Yeah, he's American.
Matus Pasana. I
Yeah.
think I'm pronouncing that right. And then Denis Polyubanov.
Uvarov.
Uvanov.
Uvarov.
Uvanov.
Uvarov.
Uvanov.
Rov.
Rov.
Uvarov.
Uvarov.
Yeah, there you go.
And Ali Amar.
Ali Amar. Fair enough. And I went for Pak Pyol, the North Korean 67. Zhang Jinhong. No, sorry. Zhao Jin Hong. China's 45. I was thinking about Zhang Jinhong, China's 67, but I didn't mention him. Colby Ferguson,
Yep.
110. Alexi Cherkin, 79. And Lao Guifang, 77. Or 76, soon to be 77. I'm not even saying that Lao Guifang will be the gold medalist in that category. She could even be 3rd. But I don't think she will be. Not saying she'll win. But she's definitely... We'll say that for another podcast, won't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any other honourable mentions that you sort of want to chuck out there?
I'd like to quickly chuck out, and we briefly mentioned them, Li Yan versus Li Wenwen,
Yeah.
who's more of a one to watch for this quad.
Because China can send both to a competition.
Yeah.
Like, not
yeah,
to the Olympics, but to Worlds.
Yeah.
But I almost don't feel like they would, because it will push them into risking injury.
Mm-hmm.
And like, do they want to risk Li Wenwen injuring her elbow again?
Yeah.
And also Li Yan is untouchable still. Possibly.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, she is really.
Yeah.
So I think we'll see a lot more of Li Yan. Yeah, I think that's a good shout. Sticking with the supers, moving to the men's, I really hope we see Ali Resi Yousefi
Yeah, he just had knee surgery, right, like a few months ago.
back in February, I think it was. I think I would love to see a world record, the heaviest clean jack of all time.
I mean, it felt like we could have got it at
Worlds.
Bahrain.
He could have done it.
Felt like he was going to do it at one point.
Yeah. 47, 57, 62. Oh, no, it was 58, wasn't it? So it was like 10 kilo jump. You're there.
Is it possible for us to see him in Norway, or is that too soon? Do you know?
No, I don't know. We could send them a message and see, but the problem is they just have so many supers.
Yeah,
you just don't know who the heck you're going to see.
We've got about 5 on rotation.
Yeah, they really do. I also put in Zhang Jinhong, it's China's 67, who has crazy rear delts.
Oh yeah.
He's got a long way to go in the clean and jerk.
I don't know much about him.
Yeah, he's got a long way to go in the clean and jerk. He's not as strong as the North Koreans, or even someone like Yusuf Gench, if Gench does go 65. But he snatched 148 at Worlds on his second attempt, and then made 151 for the goal, but it was a press out.
Right.
So he's just really technically good.
Yeah.
And then in the clean and jerk, he's a squat jerker, and he's not there yet. But I think if China does have a new male lifter who rises to glory, I feel like it could be him.
Mm-hmm. They're definitely going to be looking for.
They need to find someone.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got a few, haven't they, who've done reasonably well recently. I think there wasn't there a 61 at this Asian Championships?
That's 142. Yeah.
Wang Hu, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, got to mention them. And then I think we should mention who are the big names that we think will remain big names.
Yes.
And another episode I want to do, by the way, which Olympic champions are going to become Olympic champions again. Yeah, which Olympic champs will repeat. I think will be a fun one. Karlos Nasar.
Yeah, let's get the obvious one out of the way.
Karlos Nasar is the best weightlifter in the world.
Yeah,
because I know that Rizky hit that crazy Sinclair, but Karlos does it every time.
He's backed it up so many times, hasn't he?
Yeah, he backs it up every single competition, every single comp. He puts on more weight. He sets world records and everything. He's untouchable.
And his category is just not. It's because he's so good. He's not competitive compared to the 79s.
No, it doesn't even. I mean, we thought it was going to be. We didn't even know how competitive it was really, because like remember World Cup 2000, like last year, last chance qualifier. We didn't even know. We were like, oh, maybe Tian Tao, maybe Li Dian will come back.
Yeah. And
now it just feels like no, actually, you just if you're in that category with him, you just have to fight for a silver.
And now it being.
He's like one of the absolute all-time greats.
Being a 94, it almost separates it out even more.
Because I feel like he can put on the muscle mass that the other 89s can't.
Yeah, and you haven't got some great 81s coming up.
No.
So yeah, I think he's the obvious pick.
Not many 102s come down, and if they do, they get too weak. So we have to mention that he will remain a big name. Do you know who we didn't pick? One to watch.
Go on.
Rebecca Ibrahima, formerly Rebecca Kohar.
That's a good shout.
She's back with Team Latvia. She was very good. She took quite a few years off. She's back. She went 6 for 6 at the European Champs.
Yep.
Bronze?
I think so, yeah. I think she got 3 bronzes.
I'm just checking now. Oh, I'm on the Asians, that's why. Did she get 3? She might have done. Women's 59, Ibrahima. She got bronze snatch, bronze total.
Okay.
But she would have probably got bronze clean and jerk had Sarah Ritterlane had not hit that crazy 115 for the gold. That was such a tight category.
Yeah.
We had 115, 114, 113, 113 in the clean and jerks. Yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, we should have maybe mentioned her. Maybe I should have slipped her in instead of Sarah Matthew for my 5th instead of Lau Gui Fang. So we've said Karlos. Do we have any other obvious big names that are going to remain big names?
I mean, the likes of Lalian, he was very young.
That's a good one. Is anyone going to beat Lalian?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think it might take a few...
Gore can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, Gore absolutely can do it. He just needs to get back into 2023 shape.
Yeah.
Even 2024 shape. Just not December 2024 shape.
Yeah, you don't want that.
No, you didn't want that bit. I mean, he's so good. And the desire to still snatch 220s. Did we get an interview with him? No, we didn't, did we? No. We got Simone and Garrick.
Yeah, he wasn't in.
He wasn't there, no.
He was
Yeah. I figured he might just turn up just to watch.
Yeah, I was expecting him to be there in training.
Just to watch some of them. Another person who I think is very good and will remain very good the entire quad is Rahmat Erwin Abdullah.
Yep.
Indonesian, 73 turned 79. He clean and jerked a world record 205 at the Asian Champs in the 73s.
Mm-hmm.
Which
sort of showed us that he's back.
Yeah, just a reminder that, like, yes, 1 year ago I had the absolute tragedy of my career, but I'm unbeatable in this category.
Yeah.
And when I go up to 79, Ri Chung Song, Alexi Cherkin, don't even try it.
How about Moa Chaon?
Mode. She recently came back to competition.
Yeah.
She went 6 of 6. I think she did around 100, 126 or something.
Mm-hmm.
She, gold in Tokyo, silver in Paris. I would say she's the most consistent, most reliable weightlifter almost in the world.
Yeah, picking up medals non-stop.
I feel so confident when I see her walk up to a bar that she's going to make it. Her jerk is so strong. If she stands up with a clean, I just feel good with it.
Mm-hmm.
She's got such strong lats. I mean, you can when she does a bar overhead, you can see her lats
poking around. Yeah.
Yeah. Or when she's in the rack position, she's got such a strong back. You know, she's done a lot of gymnastics and circus training, all that sort of stuff in her life. If she decides to really go for it again, you wouldn't want to bet against her.
No.
Can she medal for a third time?
She's missing that bronze, isn't she?
What category? 63?
Yeah.
Yeah, missing the bronze. I mean, she was a 64. Yeah, 63 is a great class for her.
Come back up from 59.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you snatch 107, clean jerk 232 kind of range.
230.
132. New 102 world record. Yeah, that's a good shout.
I've got one more name I just want to throw out at you.
Okay.
Toma.
Yeah, that's a great
shout. She had
shout.
a little comeback, if you like, towards the end of... She's obviously incredible in Colombia.
Yeah. What did she snatch in Paris that was not allowed? Was it 115?
Something like that.
And it was I mean, it was a good lift, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then she got... And then I remember we were watching her in the back room at Paris, and then she hit, was it like 120, 125 or something, and then she had to come running straight out.
Yeah. Did she bomb out?
I think she
in
might
the clean
have done,
jerk,
yeah.
I think she did. But in the snatch, she made 115, and then she made 117, which is that was an Olympic record.
Yeah.
Olivia hit that as well straight after and got it, but they disallowed it because of a flicker in the elbow. So, what are you asking me?
I mean, I think it was a bit of a surprise how
good
she looked in Paris.
Yeah.
Are we going to see that continue, or will we see her revert back to maybe what we saw in sort of 2023?
I think we're going to see her revert back, and Mihaela Kambe and Andrea Katruta. And
She's going to pass the baton over for Team Romania.
And then even Panna, whatever her name is.
Yeah, they've got a few men who are coming through as well.
Yeah. I think the team will do quite well on the women's side and maybe the men's, but I don't think she's going to hit quite that level again.
There you go.
There we go. 5 weightlifters to keep an eye out for. 5 weightlifters to watch. Or maybe we should title it, don't miss out. I don't know. You don't want to be too clickbaity with it, do you?
No.
Well, you said this was going to be an extremely long episode. It's not been the longest.
No, it's been
52 minutes, which is about right, really. Nice, with a couple of ads, maybe. It might be pushing close to 55 at this point, so I reckon that's a good spot to wrap it up. I'm trying to think what we should say. By the time this comes out, are we going to have 5mm knee sleeves?
Might have 5mm. We might have a curved belt.
This one will probably come out next Wednesday. We might have a curved neoprene belt, which if you've been paying close attention to, you might have seen on the international stage setting the world record.
Yeah.
That 205 from Rahmat. People didn't notice it, but that was the curved belt. So we're bringing that out. We're bringing out some 5mm knee sleeves. We've had some restocks on a bunch of things, Sophia t-shirt, all that good stuff. And
little Karlos collab clothing.
Karlos capsule coming out soon. Yeah. So yeah, we got a few good things. Go check it out at weightliftinghouse.com. I'll put links to everything down below and get all your news at the Weightlifting House newsletter. You can sign up down below. It's just all the big lifts that you might have missed, a few little athlete interviews, stories of what's going on behind the scenes, and it's just sent to you every single Friday. It's a 5-minute read, nice and quick, and it's all free. So everything that we have mentioned is down below in the show notes. You can check it out there. But that's going to be it from me and the People's Enigma, Nick. And we'll see you all on another episode of the Weightlifting House podcast.